What is going on, guys? DBG here, and in this video we are going to be doing a tier list of budget players. So this is going to be obviously going over some of the best budget players in the game. Like, I know my tier list, I'm just going over some of the best overall players, and in this video I'm going to be doing budget players. You guys seem to really like these tier list videos, so I think maybe the first week of every month is going to be like the tier list week. We've gone over the most OP players, gone over tier list each position. Now I'm going to go over the budget tier list. So yeah, basically I put a price range of roughly 10k max, and most of the players up at 10k. I don't think there's one, maybe. I don't think there's many that are more than like 5 or 6k. And for example, the cards that are up at 10k, they'll be judged a little bit more harshly than the cards that are, say, 800 MT. But anyway, this is the budget tier list, obviously, and if you guys are standing out this game, these guys are perfect to use. So first up is Marcus Morris, a guy who I personally believe is right up there with the best power forwards in this game. Marcus Morris is going into S tier. So if you guys don't know, Marcus Morris has a good release. He's got gold range extender, gold clamps, gold quick draw. He's fast. He's got great perimeter defense, and while his post defense does leave a bit to be desired, the thing is, most people run small guys at the 4. They run wings at the 4. Well, like glorified wings. So maybe a Lamar Odom you see a lot. You see a lot of Hito at the 4. I was about to say LeBron and KD, but you don't see anyone run them anymore because, well, people have figured out clamps is the most important badge in the game. But no, Marcus Morris can guard pretty much anyone, and he also shoots the lights out. When he's open, he's a really good shooter, and there's a reason why he nearly made my top 2 overall power forwards. Without question, for like 5-6k MT, he is S tier. Then we've got Devontae Graham. So Devontae Graham is going to B tier for the reason that he's about 10k MT. He's really good, don't get me wrong, but offensively he's fantastic. Like, offensively he's as good as any point guard in the game. Cannot play defense. He cannot play defense at all, and is around the 10k MT mark. Like, he will get blown by. However, he can go to the basket quite well. He's got a really nice jump shot. Like, his jumper is really good. One thing I have noticed though is, while obviously the Amethyst has got better stats, better badges, the Amethyst and the Ruby have felt the exact same to me. The Ruby is fantastic. Ruby Devontae Graham is unbelievable, and what I would suggest you to do is probably go for the Ruby instead of the Amethyst. The Ruby, is, while a little bit of a downgrade, probably is better value. Now we're on to Grant Hill. Grant Hill is going bang smack in the middle as well. So the thing with Grant Hill is he goes to the basket really well. When speed, sweep, ball, and acceleration are good but not exceptional, he's got goal quick first step. He goes to the basket well. He dunks on everybody. When he's wide open, he can hit jump shots. Has like 42 goal badges, I think. So you're looking at that and thinking, how for like 4k MT he's not in A tier? He doesn't have some of the most important badges. Doesn't have range extender, which is really important. Like, I'm not saying that anyone who says, oh, I'm like too bogged down a range extender. Trust me, it is needed. Especially 1 through 3, it is a needed badge. If you want to play at the highest level. Like, you can sometimes get away without it, but in my opinion, you cannot get away without range extender and clamps at the highest level, and he doesn't have either of those badges. While offensively, he's going to be good. Defensively, he's just not going to be good enough to compete. So then we got Jerry Sloan. Jerry Sloan is going in at A tier. And this is a card, because he's released so early, people just forgot how good he is. But Jerry Sloan has a fantastic release in this game. He doesn't have range extender. That's like his only downside. But the thing is with Jerry Sloan is he's got clamps, unbelievable defense, and can shoot the lights out when he's not from too deep. So for that reason, I'm going to put him in A. He doesn't have quick first step either, which is a little bit of weakness in offense. But again, if he can lock up the other team's players, he's not that much of a liability, especially if you're not running everything through him. Then we got Kelly Oubre. Kelly Oubre is a bit of a weird one, because a lot of people are going to want to put him in S tier because he's got range extender, he's got a really nice release, he's got really good stats. I'm going to put him in A tier because he's got no clamps and he's got no quick first step. Even though he shouldn't realistically be in A tier, without those 2 badges, those animations are incredible, and his jump shot is really nice. So, telling you guys, offensively, Kelly Oubre is more than effective, and defensively, he doesn't seem to get beaten as bad as someone like Grant Hill, but offensively, I put him a step above someone like Grant Hill. So, if this was like overall tier list, he'd probably be B tier, because offensively, he's just fantastic. But budget squad tier list, A tier. And we've got Dennis Schroeder, who is going into A tier. Dennis Schroeder is like a cheaper Chris Paul, and Chris Paul may go into this list as well. So Schroeder has got he's super fast, can go to the basket well. He's got really good defensive stats. He's got goal clamps, got quick draw, got a good release, no range extender. That's literally the only thing this card doesn't have. And for his price is a really, really good option. And we got Penny Hardaway going right down here into B tier. So he's a little bit more expensive than I thought he was. I think he's like 6k MT or something. I think I bought mine for like 3k. So Penny Hardaway is a 6'7" point guard. Offensively, he's got good speed. He can dunk, he can shoot. Problem is he has got lateral quickness of 74 and no clamps. Lateral quickness of 74, lads. I'm telling you, he cannot guard any point guards. Like, he is one of, like, obviously there are way worse defensive point guards, but like, their cards no one would ever think of using. But if cards that people would actually consider using, he may be the worst defensive wing in the game, or wing or point guard in the game. Or, yeah, he literally cannot guard a point guard. The only way you can justify having him on the floor is, say, if you have a clamps power forward with him, and you switch the matchups, and you put him guarding the other team's power forward, and then switch the power forward onto the point guard. Like, if you ran in with Marcus Morris and had him guarding the power forward, maybe you could use him. But the fact that you have to put him guarding big men means that I definitely don't think he belongs any higher than B tier. Then we got Vucevic. Vucevic is going bang smack in the middle as well. Offensively, really good card. Good in the post, good three ball. Defensively, he's the best Vucevic has ever been. He can actually block shots a little bit. He's not just a complete hologram, but still, even the best Vucevic is still not a very good defender. Not the fastest, not the best rebounder. And while at the time he was really good, I can't see much of a use for him now. Chris Paul, literally going in, it's the exact same spot as Dennis Schroeder. Really, really good card. They're basically the same. Like, two of these guys are basically the same card. Then we have got AC Green. So AC Green is going to go in at A tier. So AC Green is an elite defender, a solid shooter, and a solid post player. Like, he does everything you want. He's 6'9", he's cheap. He's again, he can guard perimeter players, he can guard players in the post, he can get boards, he can score inside, he can hit the jump shot. He does literally everything you want from a budget player. And just realized I might have to move everyone down tiers, because I'm like, there's way too many people in these top two tiers, none in the bottom yet. Then we got Bruce Bowen, who, for the exact same reasons as Jerry Sloan. So the thing with Bruce Bowen is that, again, lockdown defender. He got Hall of Fame clamps when he's evoed up, but it's just normal. Amethyst Bruce Bowen, really good release. Basically, everything I said about Jerry Sloan works for Bruce Bowen as well. A really, really nice card. Rudy Tomjanovic, finally we got a player down here in C tier. He's not actually terrible. He's got the amateur one release, or the high school release, whatever it was, the 2K17 generic release. He shoots the ball well when he's open, but has no range extender, no quick first step, no clamps. He's a very cheap amethyst, I guess, but doesn't deserve to be any higher than C tier. Christian Leitner, going right here with Vucevic. He's a bit better on defense than Vucevic, but he's a bit slower. Again, good in the post, really good jump shot. He just can't, well, again, you just can't have everything with these cards, and he doesn't quite have everything, but like, he's a really good card. He's a really good card. These are all fairly good cards. Like, Paul Pierce, this is going to be one where a lot of people are going to say, why? And I think the only reason there's even a question about this is because Pierce is so common and he's so cheap. But Pierce is going into A tier. Paul Pierce has got a nice release. He's not fast. He's not a bad defender. He's got bronze clamps, which again is better than nothing. Any version of clamps is good. Got range extender, can play at the 3 and 4, can rebound kind of well, and is just an overall solid player. And if you put Paul Pierce into a God squad, he wouldn't, like any of these guys here, if you replace one player from your God squad with any of these guys, they would not look out of place. And that's how I judge them being like a top tier budget card. And we got Earl Monroe, or we got Jeff Petrie B tier. No, I can't. If Kelly Oubre is A tier, Jeff Petrie's A tier. So Jeff Petrie he's got no clamps, but offensively he's got quick first step, range extender, can handle the ball, can shoot the ball really well, can do pretty much everything else. Earl Monroe, I'm guessing is here. He's going down to C tier. Not bad. Got quick first step, got a decent release, quick draw. Not a bad card at all. And I think he's kind of a card, again, just like Paul Pierce. A lot of people have kind of underrated him because of how cheap he is, but let's be real. I would take a Devontae Graham over Earl Monroe or a Penny Hardaway over Earl Monroe any day. Now we're on to Charles Oakley. So Charles Oakley is the most non-existent player on offense. He can catch and shoot and hit open, catch and shoot jump shots. That is literally all he can do on offense. He's got goal back down punisher, but like a 50 post hook. So he's not going to score post hooks. He's not going to score fadeaways, which is like 50. He's not really going to go to the basket at all. But the thing is, he may be the best defensive budget player. He's got Hall of Fame floor general, which helps the team out a ton. Not Hall of Fame floor general, Hall of Fame defensive leader. Sorry, he's not floor general. He's got defensive leader Hall of Fame. He's also got gold clamp, so he can guard pretty much any of the perimeter oriented power forwards. He's got good lateral quickness. He's also got Hall of Fame intimidator, which is a massive badge to have on defense. And he just makes the defense better. He's not going to block shots or get steals. Those ratings are really low. Like, if he had a better block and steal rating, he'd be up in S tier. If he had a better post hook or fadeaway, one of them, he'd be up in S tier. But he's so poor on offense and can't block or block a shot or steal the ball. So I can't really put him over B tier, but he is a really good card. If you're on an extreme budget, and I think he's still like less than 2K20. Like, if you want a defensive anchor on your team, someone to improve the team's defense, you cannot go wrong with Charles Oakley. And now we got probably the best budget player in the game. We have got Dante Exum. So Dante Exum has got some of the cheesiest animations I've ever seen in the game. His jumper is auto green. He's got gold clamps. He's got really good speed ball, or decent speed ball acceleration, good lateral quickness, a lockdown defender. He's got like 40 gold badges, unbelievable handles. The one problem with this guy, or there's two problems. He can't dunk. And this is weird because it's like, we've seen like non-dunkers dunk in 2K, but Dante Exum can dunk, and he dunks a lot in real life, and they literally made him not be able to dunk, which is a little bit weird, but that's just 2K logic. A bit like Donovan Mitchell back in NBA 2K18, where he just couldn't dunk. And yeah, that's kind of one downside, and also no range extender. I'm telling you, if he had range extender, this is a top 5 point guard in the game, if he had range extender, but he doesn't. I still think Dante Exum he's like a better Lonzo Ball, and he is comparable with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He's also 6'6" point guard. That's probably something I should have mentioned, but no, he is absolutely fantastic. This is right up there with the best budget cards in this game, and I think he will be the best budget card in the game for quite a while, or up there with the best of them. Michael Porter Jr., I would love to put this guy in A tier, S tier, because he's really fun to use. You know what? He's not the most effective player in the world, and I know a lot of you guys might be saying I'm crazy for that, but I cannot justify putting Michael Porter Jr. over Grant Hill. I can't, because they do the same thing. Except I'm pretty sure Grant Hill can explosive behind the back. Or maybe he can't. But Michael Porter Jr., he's 6'10", he's got quick first step, which is good. He shoots the ball really well when he's open. No range extender, no clamps, no defense. I cannot justify putting him up with these guys. And for me anyway, I think he's a slightly worse version of Kelly Oubre. And I can't, for the non-defense players, I can't justify putting him above Kelly Oubre or Jeff Petrie. I think both of them are just better on offense. We have now got Kerry Kittles, who is like a real budget version of like Jerry Sloan or Bruce Bowen. He has the exact same job as them. Great defensive card, good dunker, and also when he's wide open will shoot the lights out. And now we're on to Keith Van Horn, and this is going to be my most controversial one. And I honestly think that Keith Van Horn, if you evo him up as a Ruby, he'd be probably C tier, D tier maybe. But if you evo him up, and he's S tier. He's S tier. He's basically Marcus Morris. He is literally Marcus Morris with a faster release. And I don't know, being 6'10", having range extender, having clamps, being able to just knock down shots while locking down the other teams 1 through 4. I honestly think that that's a huge thing. And again, another player that when he's evoed up can fit into a God squad and not put a foot wrong. This is again a bit of a controversial one, but while without question Marcus Morris and Keith Van Horn are not as fun to use as a lot of these players, we're just judging by fun and how much you're going to dominate against a terrible player, Petri's S tier, Ubre's S tier, Hill and Penny are S tier, and Porter's S tier. And this guy's definitely S tier in Markel Fultz. The thing is though, I'm judging this by how they can fit into God squads and how they can play against God squads, and lack of defense is a huge negative, and that's why Fultz, even when he's evoed up to Amethyst, is going into B tier. Markel Fultz has got, again, not much defense, but he can shoot the lights out, can dunk the ball really well. And also, the big thing with Fultz that a lot of people have kind of glossed over is that he's got no quick first step. I'm actually going to push him down a tier. I'm pushing him down to C tier. Like a point guard with no quick first step and no defense. Like, I cannot justify putting him above C tier. Aaron Gordon is going into A tier. I think he's got like silver clamps. He's got a fairly good jump shot, really good dunker, and is fast. So, again, for his price, you can't argue with him against him being there. Zion Williamson, a card that I really don't like. Not going to quite put him in D tier, but I'm going to put him in C tier. He's got a decent 3-ball. He's strong. Problem is that he's a 6'6" power forward. He's too slow to play at the small forward. He gets burned on defense by everybody. He isn't, like, he can back people down, but his post game isn't strong enough. He's got a lot of downsides, to be honest. Then we got LaFrance. I'm going to put LaFrance because, like, budget big men, there's no point putting all the budget big men down. As far as budget big men go, LaFrance is really good. So he is going right up here into A tier. Like, he's got a really good jump shot. He's just a better Vucevic. He's Vucevic that can block a shot the odd time. And we got Kat, who I'm putting into B tier. So Karl Anthony Towns can block shots relatively well, gets boards relatively well, shoots relatively well, plays relatively well in the post. Best center in the game at the very start of the game, but we are in January right now. So, yeah, there's definitely better options. Kristaps Porzingis, a 7'3" player, is also going into B tier. Okay, so I've had a lot more than I thought, and I can guarantee you A tier and B tier are going to be completely overflowing. But Kristaps Porzingis is a solid shooter, a solid shot blocker, and you know what? Like, I've used him against God squads, and he's not absolutely terrible, not good, not terrible. Jordan McRae is going into B tier. I'm telling you, if you have not used this guy, he is legit. He's got decent height. He's a good dunker. He's got quick first step gold. He's got an unbelievable release. He's got a not great handle. That's one of his only downsides. Not a great defender. But in terms of just shooting the ball, pure shooting, he's right up there with the best of them, as well as having quick first step. Puts him ahead of the likes of Evan Fournier, Nick Anderson, all of them. Jordan McRae, without question, belongs up here in B tier. Jamal Murray, for the exact same reasons as Jordan McRae, belongs in B tier. They're very, very similar cards. Like, Jamal Murray, in my opinion, is like a better Devontae Graham, but he's much cheaper. Everything Devontae Graham can do, Jamal Murray can do. So, and also Jamal Murray's 2 inches taller and can dunk better. Now we're on to Norman Powell, who is going right up here into S tier. Norman Powell, quick first step. He's got clamps. One of the best dunkers in the game. A really good jump shot. When he's open, he doesn't miss. And he was my starting 2 guard on my team when I went 12-0. Not only that, like, we had Giannis, we had Lamar Odom, we had Embiid, and Norman Powell a lot of the time was our top scorer. Teams used to just completely forget about Norman Powell, stick people like Pink Diamond James Harden on him, and Norman Powell go out and drop 40 on Pink Diamond Harden. Like, it is ridiculous, as well as being one of the best defensive budget guys in the game, without question S tier. Now we're on to Livingston, who I'm going to put here in A tier. Sean Livingston, a really good defender, shoots the ball relatively well with a long release. Not the best ball handle, no quick first step. Actually, to be fair, ball handle is fairly good. It's 86 is fine. He's got quick first step, gold as well. Or see, he doesn't have quick first step at all, which again is a bit of a problem, or range extender. But you know what? He's a 6'7" point guard that can clamp up the other team's point guard, as well as pass the ball well and shoot the ball well when he's wide open, as well as having a good handle. So, yeah, an A tier for me. DeAndre Jordan is going... He's going A tier. When, like, this version of Jordan would be in D tier, but DeAndre Jordan upgraded is going A tier. So he's basically got a decent 3-ball, gets a good free throw, also gets a bunch of good Hall of Fame badges, one of the best rebounders in the game, and he's way better than the DeAndre Jordan reward Amethyst. And as far as budget cards go, if you can evo up this Ruby to an Amethyst, it only takes 20 free throws. You get yourself one of the better, like one of the guys that can actually compete with any center in this game. Then we have got Rui Hachimura. Rui Hachimura is going right here into A tier as well. While he doesn't have clamps, he does everything solid. Like, he shoots the ball relatively well. He defends relatively well. There's nothing Rui Hachimura does badly. And I've spoken enough about him in previous videos. He's just a really overall solid card. Then we've got Evan Turner, who is going right here into C tier. Evan Turner has got good handle, I guess. Shoots the ball relatively well when he's open, but it is kind of hard to get a shot off with him. He's a kind of ball handling point guard. When he's evoed up, he's all right, but no higher than C tier in my opinion. We've got Luke Walton, who is going right here into A tier. So Luke Walton, everything I said for Hachimura applies for Luke Walton, basically. Got actually a decent handle, plays defense, shoots the ball really well when he's open, or plays a bit of defense, plays consistent perimeter and post defense, is moderately fast, just does everything well. Jack of all trades, master of none. And again, for just a glue guy, he does fine. Then we have got S tier Rick Smits. So Rick Smits is a 7'4" center, so he's a giant. And when you upgrade him to amethyst, he gets a 97 mid-range shot. His release is already good. He's got good Hall of Fame gold back down punisher and 92 strength as well. So while his block rating is only 60, he gets a ton of blocks. And in my opinion, this is one of the better cards in the game. And again, for his price, you cannot go wrong. Like, there's times you can get this guy for less than 2 KMT at Ruby, less than 5 KMT at amethyst. That is an absolute steal. And then we have got Lucius Allen. So Lucius Allen is going right. He's going into A tier as well. So Lucius Allen, the thing is that when you get him up to Ruby in about 3 games. When he's at Ruby, he's got a good ball handle. He's got gold clamps. He's fast and can shoot the ball well. So again, has all the he's basically Dennis Schroeder / Chris Paul, except for the fact that he's only like 1 KMT and low rated. So actually he might be a little more expensive now, but he was like 1 KMT when I bought him. He was like 3 KMT already evoed up to Ruby when I bought him. But anyway, yeah, that is the video. Surprisingly enough, we've got no D tier players. We don't, because maybe you could say Tomjanovic in, and we forgot. Like I've missed out on a load of great budget players. I missed out on Michael Cooper, who's probably an A tier player. I've missed out on a ton of players in this game, a ton of budget players. But like, there's a lot of good ones. Like, if you look at the very top line, in my opinion, a starting 5 of Dante Exum, Norman Pell, upgraded Keith Van Horn, Marcus Morris, and Rick Smits. While it would not beat a God Squad, if I'm playing against a casual using a God Squad, I'm winning that game. That squad can compete with anybody. It may not beat them. You're not having an advantage. You're not going to have an advantage against T-Mac. But that squad can compete against any squad in this game. Trust me. Those 5 guys up top can compete against anybody. Anyway, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.